When Richard III seized the throne, it really upset the political nation, and leading the opposition against him were two women who had once stood at opposite sides of the Wars of the Roses. We've got Margaret Beaufort, who's the mother of Henry Tudor, prophesied future king by Henry VI, and we have Elizabeth Woodville, mother of the missing Princes in the Tower and widow of Edward IV. While Elizabeth Woodville had likely given up all hope that her missing sons would ever be restored to power, Margaret Beaufort could nurture this dream that Henry could become king, being the last real Lancastrian heir to the throne. And this alliance was cemented by a bold dynastic plan. Henry Tudor could marry Elizabeth Woodville's daughter, Elizabeth of York, uniting, finally, the warring families of Lancaster and York. It's always the mums that have to sort out the family fights, isn't it? Now, Margaret Beaufort played a more active role because through her connection to her husband, Thomas Stanley, she had access to courts where she could gain support for her son, and she could also correspond with him while he is in France. And a really interesting aspect of this alliance was a man called Louis of Caerleon. Now, he was a doctor, a physician, but he was also an astrologer, and he was able to, as a physician, visit both of the women without any suspicion, so he could pass back any messages that needed to be relayed between the two. He was eventually locked up in the Tower for meddling, but don't worry, Henry will let him out later. So this alliance of these two amazing women really laid the foundation then for Henry to be able to come back and take over, not as a king who is performing some sort of conquest, but to be positioned as the returning of the rightful king. So join me tomorrow and we'll see what happens when Henry meets Richard.